Anyway, his program is at 11:45 only, right? So, hmm, 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 hmm. Okay, okay. I have joined in the room. Yes. Can you ask her to unmute? Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Clement, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm able to hear you.
Oh, super. Good. So we'll mute everybody, and
Okay.
so as the speakers come on, we'll unmute. Okay?
Okay. I'm not able to see your video.
Yeah, we haven't started the video as yet. We put it on. Go ahead if you want. Yeah, one minute. Clement, can you hear us?
Yes. I'm able to hear you.
Oh, super. Good.
Okay, okay.
Everybody.
So quick this one, I just updated Sharad also. Are you able to hear me? Hello? You are on mute.
We can hear you, sir.
Yeah, now I'm able to hear you. So what I was mentioning to Sharad was, Sir will join at 11:45 here.
Okay, sir, done.
Okay, so as of now, 11:45 is the schedule for Sir for the inauguration. Plus minus 5 minutes kind of a thing.
Yes, sir, yes. So just in case if you have
opened
Zoom and
So what
YouTube.
I was mentioning to Sharad was, Sir will join at 11:45 here.
Okay, sir, done.
Okay, so as of now, 11:45 is the schedule for Sir for the inauguration. Plus minus 5 minutes kind of a thing.
Yes, sir, yes. So just in case if you have opened Zoom and YouTube.
Sir. Yes. Are you there in the room? Okay. Okay. Who is in the room? Okay. I'm just talking to Siri. Hmm? Okay.
Hello.
Siri, this is Clement here again.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Now is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So the mic is here.
Okay.
So I was slightly away from the mic. Maybe that is why you had that echo problem. Now it is clear, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. 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 Right. Thank you.
So we have Chitra ma'am here, but sir, if you can.
I'm just talking to Siri. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Hi.
Siri, this is Clement here again.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Now is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So the mic is here.
ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಕೊಡಿ ಟೈಮಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಮೈಲಿ ನಾನು ಇದು ಮಾಡಿಸು ನಾನು ನಮ್ದು ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ Just enter it and everybody put your
Good morning, all. Good morning to all the respected dignitaries we have right now. Thank you so much for joining the virtual launch of B.SAFE Constituency program. It is an initiative for safety and empowerment of women. Hi, I'm Siri. I'm B.SAFE program coordinator. For the agenda of the program, to start with, we'll have a brief program introduction by Ms. Chitra. Good morning, all. Good morning to all the respected dignitaries we have right now. Thank you so much for joining the virtual launch of B.SAFE Constituency program. It is an initiative for safety and empowerment of women. Hi, I'm Siri. I'm B.SAFE program coordinator. For the agenda of the program, to start with, we'll have a brief program introduction by Mr. Good morning all. Good morning to all the respected dignitaries we have right now. Thank you so much for joining the virtual launch of B.SAFE Constituency program. It is an initiative for Hi, I'm Siri. I'm B.SAFE sorry for the disturbance. There's a technical issue. Just give us a few seconds. We'll get back to you. Sorry, there was a technical glitch. I mean, we are all new to online, so let's all start with a nice start again. Okay, good morning to all the respected dignitaries we have here. Today, we are here for the B.SAFE Constituency virtual launch. It's an initiative for safety and empowerment of women. It's nice to have you all here. Hope you all can see my screen now. I am Siri, B.SAFE program coordinator. So as the program agenda, I'll just run it with a small flow. Thank you, Mr. George Matapal, President, CGI, for joining us. And we have Honorable MLA Shri Arvind Limbavli with us. And then we also have Shri Rizwan Arshad, MLA Shivaji Nagar. And as a panel members, we have Ms. Pramila Naidu, Chairperson, Karnataka State Commission of Women, Ms. Isha Pant, IPS, DCP, Bangalore City Police, and also we have Ms. Tara Krishna Swami, Political Shakti and Citizens for Bangalore. We also have Ms. Revati Ashok, Managing Trustee and CEO B.PAC. Thank you all so much for joining. As the program starts, for a brief introduction, I will ask Chitra ma'am to give a brief introduction to us. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody. I trust you can see the slides. First of all, as many of you know, B.PAC has been working on a whole lot of initiatives for B.SAFE over these years, focused on safety of women and children. Our program relates to gender sensitization and other initiatives that work around POSH, POXO, etc. And today's program of B.SAFE Constituency is just one other major initiative in our roadmap for B.SAFE. to very quickly tell you what this program, our objective is any program that we do on the ground of this kind requires different stakeholders, i.e. all the agencies from different departments, experts, and above all the community to come together on a common platform to enable safety and empowerment. So first of all, this has three components. One is the platform that we are creating to bring everybody. Two, it's very data rich, as I will just share with you in a second, where we are picking up data from. And the third area is a major awareness outreach program to different parts of the community. So for any such grassroots granular program, we need leaders to conduct this. And B.SAFE Constituency is looking at leaders whom we call B.SAFE ambassadors. We have planned to launch this in 2 constituencies that we chose. We identified it because it will provide us very rich learnings, the 2 different constituencies. One is Mahadevpura and one is Shivaji Nagar. Between the 2, we have 15 wards, and we think 25 B.SAFE ambassadors in each of the 2 constituencies will really do solid groundwork. Now, these B.SAFE ambassadors will be trained through an 8 classroom sessions, and this knowledge track that they will get will cover extensively basic concepts of safety and empowerment, and of course, working with all government agencies, working with police, financial literacy, etc., so that they are true leaders when they go out into the field. Once they've been trained through the classes, they will then go do 2 basic field work. One is study the gap analysis and identify safety gap analysis across 10 different public spaces. It could be parks, bus stops, police stations they'd go to, if there's a one-stop center, pavement, public toilets, street lights, which is the most important one. And this data will be collected through the Google Sheets, which are well designed. And the second part of their field work will involve extensive awareness program amongst college, B.SAFE community women, and auto and cab drivers to the Nirbhaya Chalaka. So our target for this program, very quickly, for both the constituencies is to have 25 women B.SAFE ambassadors. We will cover 10 colleges in each. We will do a community outreach program for 2,000 women, which could involve self-help group and extensive women from different strata, and cover 100 auto and cab drivers. And out of this program, we hope to come up with actual recommendations of what a blueprint of a good constituency looks like from the point of view of safety and empowerment. So, and I would like to also share with you the web page that we have designed, thanks to our Synergos communication team, which will cover this program through its several months of implementation and will give everybody an access to the data that we're collecting. As I close this very short overview of the program, I want to say a very special thanks to people who have been involved. One is Shushma, who worked with us diligently until September before she went to do her master's at the London School of Economics. Siri, whom you just heard, has taken over from her. And with that, I'd like to say a big thank you to our 2 MLAs. We really appreciate their support for this program, and above all, to our CGI CSR partner, without whom this program would not have taken off. With that, may I request our CGI partner, President George Matakal, who's the Asia Pac Global Delivery Centers of Excellence, to share his message with us. Thank you all.
Hello, it's good. It's a real pleasure for me to be here with you today, and thank you for that introduction. Honorable Shri Arvind Limbavali, MLA of Mahadevpura, Honorable Shri Rizwan Arshad, MLA of Shivaji Nagara, Ms. Revati Ashok, CEO of B.PAC, and Ms. Chitra Talwar, who we just heard from, Program Head for B.SAFE, as well as the distinguished panel members who will be joining us later, and all the distinguished guests. It's really an honor for me as the President of APAC for CGI to be part of this event and to represent the 78,000 employees globally and 14,000 employees in India of CGI Information Systems and Management Consultants, one of the largest global IT and business consulting firms. Now, as a company, we strive to deliver value to all of our stakeholders, along with our clients, our employees, who we call members, and shareholders. We view the communities where we live and work as an important stakeholder. We have as one of our strategic priorities to be recognized by our communities as a responsible corporate citizen. And in implementing this strategic priority, one area where we focus our efforts is in the area of women's empowerment and upliftment. And this includes a strong focus on achieving more diversity in our employee base by having more women at all levels, especially in leadership. But we also recognize that it's not enough to just focus internally. Rather, we need to also ensure the general upliftment of women within the broader community. And it's only by doing this that we can create an environment where women can have the opportunities to progress. And a key element in creating an environment of empowerment for women is to ensure that women in our communities are safe. And to that end, I am really thrilled that we have been able to partner with B.PAC in launching this program, the B.SAFE constituency program, in these two constituencies, Mahadevpura and Shivaji Nagara. As has been explained to us earlier, this program provides a common platform to bring together different government departments, key stakeholders, and domain experts to make an assembly constituency safer for women and children through field audits, through community awareness programs, through action plans, and through advocacy. Now, as this program is rolled out, the goal is that we would identify gaps for women's safety in public spaces and working with government and key stakeholders to bridge this gap in the constituency through a defined action plan, and further to engage the community to create awareness and enable access to resources to empower women, and finally to drive safety and empowerment in each of the constituencies in a sustained manner. And I want to thank B.PAC for leading this initiative and the honorable MLAs for their support in making this vision a reality. Now, we know that inaugurating a program is a much easier task. The hard work of implementation and achieving the goals of the program really starts now. And I'm confident that with the strong support of all the stakeholders represented here, this program will truly create a difference on the ground and in the lives of the women in these communities. And we here at CGI, we stand ready to support you in ensuring the success of these efforts. So I just want to close by wishing all of you, all of those involved in running this program, the very best for a successful launch, as well as ongoing for a successful execution of the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. That was really supportive. Thank you. Now we'll launch the program in Mahadevpura constituencies. So let's just welcome the Honorable Sir.
Siri, MLA sir is yet to join in, so we can proceed further, and then when MLA sir joins in, we can come to this part.
Okay. So we'll start off with the panel discussion. So later we can do the launch in both the constituencies. So, okay, as the panel discussion, the topic for the day is safety and empowerment of women, citizens' expectation and stakeholder priorities. Moderator is Ms. Chitra Talwar. Over to you, ma'am.
I warmly welcome the three panel members. I hope they're all there. Pramila Naidu, Isha Pant, Tara Krishnaswamy. Welcome, and on behalf of B.PAC, thank you so much for being here today. The This is a 30-minute panel discussion. I will very briefly introduce each of them in the interest of time. And the way I'd like to run the panel is really do a couple of questions which each of the members and then and follow it up with a question that's common to the entire panel. I also offer that the panel members may speak in English and Kannada so that the participants can, get a richer knowledge from you. So very quickly, let me introduce, starting with Ms. Pramila Naidu, as said, Chairperson, Karnataka State Commission for Women. She's worked very extensively at the grassroots level and has tremendous knowledge and rich experience. And along with her experience with other agents, working with other agencies, I'm sure we'll have some great hearing from her. Coming to Mrs. Isha Pant, whom I think Bangalore is very familiar with. What can I say? She's very, very active on all the initiatives and a great champion of women's safety. And she will tell you that one of the reasons that she's joined the police force is simply being inspired to work for women. And as for Tara, she wears different hats. She's a software technology techie in the daytime. And then she has two major passions that she runs in terms of civic and citizen activity through her Citizens for Bangalore. And through her Political Shakti Forum, she really pushes for women's greater representation, I should say, for women in the political sphere. So welcome, panel members. Let me start the question with Tara. Can you all hear me clearly, the panel members?
Yes.
Thank you. Tara, let me start with you. As someone who's very active on the civic and citizen front, what do you think are 3 or 4 must-haves that citizens expect when it comes to safety of women in a city like Bangalore, which is an urban city, a working city? The 3 or 4 must-haves so that they have virtually 100% confidence that they are safe. Over to you, Tara.
It's a great question, Chitra. Thank you to B.PAC for the B.SAFE program, and thank you for having me on the panel. And hello to the co-panelists, Ms. Pramila Naidu and Ms. Isha Pant. I think the first thing that comes to mind is the famous quote that says, whenever you're trying to administer justice, justice must not only be served, but it must seem to be served. A lot of safety and security is about perception. So it is not as much that the governance and the administration make sure to take measures towards it, but also that the perception of the recipients, they are comforted, they are assured, and they are vocally sort of supported that safety and security of women on the streets is a priority for the government and the administration. For example, we have never heard actually any head of state of any of the states stand up and say zero tolerance to crimes towards women, right? It is not that zero tolerance means that there will be no crime that happens, right? That is not what zero tolerance means. Zero tolerance simply means that the victim will never be shamed or be held responsible for crimes against her, and instead the state will always stand up for her, right? So if you talk about 2 or 3 things, number 1, a clear, vocal, open commitment to zero tolerance to crimes towards women. It needs to be said again and again. It needs to be said by the top, by the middle, by the bottom, by everybody. It needs to become culture. Number 2, I think the eyes on the street is the single most important, most crucial thing that comforts women that streets are safe. Any of us would rather be in Jayanagar 4th block than be in, in the middle of EPIP in Whitefield, surrounded by tall buildings, all of which shut down at 6 or 7 p.m. And, it's a completely empty road with fancy looking buildings and nobody at all there. I would rather be in Jayanagar 4th block market or in Malleshwaram market at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or even 11 p.m. So the single most important thing for women is eyes on the street. In other words, the more the women on the street, the more the women who will be comforted about getting on the street. In a sense, it's a chicken and egg problem, but we've got to encourage women to come and occupy the streets. The final thing I would say is that you don't magically create this change without involving women ourselves in the life cycle of urban planning, management, development, mobility, transportation, neighborhood development, climate action, disaster management, the entire life cycle of a city. Women have to be involved in, not a token woman here and there, but women as a whole have to be involved in this life cycle processes of governance that happen both formally and informally.
Okay, thank you, Tara. I think those were very clear three, solid points that you really made for all of us to think about. As a follow-up question, what I'd like to ask is what is your definition when it comes, because we find safety and empowerment were linked in many ways. What is your definition of an empowerment?
Chitra, good morning. This is Clement here. MLA sir has joined in. Can we do a quick welcome and then?
Clement, we are in the middle of the panel discussion. Is it possible to finish the panel discussion? What do you think?
Yeah, just an introduction, then we can continue with the panel.
How much time will it take?
A panel will take another 20 minutes, sir.
Okay.
Okay? I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I really welcome you on board again. We missed you a little earlier. Okay, and I come to Tara, to my second question to you. What do you see as the definition of women, empowerment of women?
I'm assuming you're asking that in the context of the city.
Correct, of the city, correct.
Yeah. I don't see that women need to be empowered. I think the city needs to be empowered to let women be, so to speak. Just let us be, let us live, go about our daily business, whether it is going to work, picking up children, just loitering the streets. I think cities aren't empowered enough to be accommodative, and not just of women, of anyone who is not an able-bodied heterosexual male, so to speak. Senior citizens find it very difficult to go for a walk in a city that doesn't have, proper pavement facilities or, proper street lighting. People who are unwell, pregnant, have trouble because you can't cross roads, and climbing these overhead crossings everywhere is simply not feasible for everybody. We must have pedestrian signal crossings at grade level. The city is not owned by vehicles. Cities are only cities because human beings make them out to be cities. And when humans don't get priority in cities and you have vehicles that get priorities in cities, you have a problem. You take, disabled people, or just women are of average less height than men. And one of the most common complaints, I recently made a Facebook post for this very reason, for this very panel, asking women what are the most common issues they face from a built up city perspective, not from the perspective of budget or from the perspective of police force, from the perspective of the built city. And one of the most common things that came, or two of the most common things that came, the bus footboard is too high for most women, right? It is designed for the height of an average heterosexual male. It is not designed for, so even climbing up that, and we all know that, as with older women, they have a hard time with larger vehicles climbing up on an Innova, right? It's difficult. Similarly, the handhold in a suburban train or a bus is too high. Women are hanging from them and they prefer the side hold. So I think the city needs to be empowered to be accommodative and inclusive of all its denizens, of all the people that live there.
So we thank you, Mr. Rizwan, welcome to the show. We are muting you. So now we move on to Madam Pramila Naidu. Ma'am, as a chairperson of KSCW, you've worked so closely and seen these issues alongside other commissions in other states. Tell us from your point of Commission's point of view, what is working well and what can be done better for safety and empowerment of women? Over to you, Mrs.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you already told, to speak in Kannada, ಓಕೆ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ. ಓಕೆ, ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಈ B.SAFE ಅವರು ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯನ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಯಕರಾದ ಅರವಿಂದ್ ಲಿಂಬಾವಳಿ ಸರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. MLA ಆದ ರಿಜ್ವಾನ್ ಅವರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರ ಪ್ಯಾನಲ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮಹಿಳಾ ಆಯೋಗ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಒಂದು ಸಂವಿಧಾನವಾದ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳನ್ನು ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡೋದು. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೊಂದು ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳ ಚ್ಯುತಿ ಬರುವಾಗ ಆಗ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಆಯೋಗ ಅವರ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗೆ ನಿಲ್ತದೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ನಾವು ಮಹಿಳಾ ಸಬಲೀಕರಣವನ್ನು 1ನೇ ಶತಮಾನದಿಂದ ವೇದ ಕಾಲದಿಂದನೂ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ವೇದ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಇದ್ರೂ ಉಪನಿಷತ್ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ತಾವೇ ವರವನ್ನು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರನ್ನು ಕಲಾ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲೂ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಇತ್ತು. ನಂತರ ನಮ್ಮ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪುರಾಣ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿಂದನೂ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ಸ್ಥಿಮಿತ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಹಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವ್ರು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಎತ್ತೋದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮನೇಲಿ ಇರೋದು. ನಂತರ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಸತಿ ಸಹಗಮನ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಾಲ್ಯ ವಿವಾಹಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿತ್ತು. ನಂತರ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ರಾಜಾ ರಾಮ್ ಮೋಹನ್ ರಾಯ್ ಅವರು, ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರು, ಹೀಗೆ ಹಲವಾರು ಗಣ್ಯರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಹಿಳೆ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಆಚರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿನೂ ನಾವು ಹಲವಾರು ಹೋರಾಟಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ವೇಜಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ವೋಟಿಂಗ್ ರೈಟ್, ಈ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಸಬಲೀಕರಣವನ್ನು ಇಷ್ಟವರೆಗೂ ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೂ 75 ವರ್ಷವನ್ನು ನಾವು ರೀಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಈ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲೂ ನಾವಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಆಡು ಮುಟ್ಟಿದ ಸೊಪ್ಪಿಲ್ಲ, ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಹೋಗದೆ ಇರೋ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನ್ಗೆ ಈ ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನ್, ಕರೋನಾ ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ಅರ್ಬನ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕೇಸ್ಗಳು ಯಾವ್ದು ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕೌಟುಂಬಿಕ ದೌರ್ಜನ್ಯ, ಕೌಟುಂಬಿಕ ಕಲಹ, ಕೌಟುಂಬಿಕ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳು ಬಂತು. ಈ ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನ್ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಮಾರ್ಚ್ 8ರಂದು ನಂದು ಮಹಿಳಾ ಆಯೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಮೇಲೆ ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನ್ ಶುರು ಆಯ್ತು ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ. ಆಗ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪೇಪರ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅಥವಾ ಲೈವ್ ಇನ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ, ಪ್ರಜಾವಾಣಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಹಲವಾರು ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಬಂದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನನ್ನ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಆಯೋಗ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೂ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗುವಂತೆ 425 ಕೇಸುಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಫೋನ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರನೇ ನಾವು ದಾಖಲು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈಗ ಕರೋನಾ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲೇ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಕೌಟುಂಬಿಕ ಕಲಹ, ದೌರ್ಜನ್ಯ, ವರದಕ್ಷಿಣೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಪ್ರಕರಣಗಳು, ಸೈಬರ್ ಕ್ರೈಮ್ಗಳು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮರ್ಯಾದೆ ಹತ್ಯೆ, ಈ ತರ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ನಮಗ್ ಬಂತು. 1750 ಕೇಸ್ಗಳವರೆಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಆಯೋಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ 10ರಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1 ತಿಂಗಳು ನಾವು ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಮೇಲೂ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ದಾಖಲೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, ಮಹಿಳಾ ಆಯೋಗ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ನನಗಿಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ಸದ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಬೇರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ದೌರ್ಜನ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಬದಲು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಾಗ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಚ್ಯುತಿ ಬರುವಾಗ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಟಾಲರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ದೊಡ್ಡವ್ರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಚಿಕ್ಕವರು, ಒಂದು ಸಂಸಾರವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಯಾವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಾಭಿಮಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಧಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವಾಗ ನೀವು ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಎತ್ತಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಏನೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋಣ, ಯಾಕೆ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು, ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಂತ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ತಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ನೋಡಿ, ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾತಾಡುವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳಿಗೆ ಚ್ಯುತಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಆಯೋಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪರವಾಗಿದೆ. ಮಹಿಳಾ ಆಯೋಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೋಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ನೋಡಿ, ಮಹಿಳಾ ಆಯೋಗ ಒಂದೇ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತನೂ ನಾವು NGOs ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಲೇಬರ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದು ಕುಟುಂಬದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ನಾವು ಸಬಲೀಕರಣ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬದಲು ನಾವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾವು ಸಬಲೀಕರಣದ ಹಾದಿಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೆ ರಕ್ಷಣೆ, ಮಹಿಳಾ ಆಯೋಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ವಿಷಯ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಲ್ಲೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿನ ಬರ್ಸ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂತ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಆಯೋಗ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ, SP ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ, DCPಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೋ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ನಂತರ ಈ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಪ್ರಕರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಈ 14 ವರ್ಷ ಇಂದ 18 ವರ್ಷದ ಒಳಗಡೆನೆ ಅವರು ಪ್ರೇಮ ಪ್ರಕರಣ ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಂತರ ಆ ಹುಡುಗ ಮದ್ವೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಂತರ ಇವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮದ್ವೆ ಮಾಡ್ಸಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು? ನಾನು ಈ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಹೇಳೋದಂದ್ರೆ, ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾಗಿ ಸದೃಢರಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಓದಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾಗಿ ಸದೃಢರಾಗುವಾಗ, ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲಿ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತೀವೋ ಅವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಂತ ಒಂದು ಧೈರ್ಯ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೂ ಹಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ ಹಕ್ಕನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿಪಾದಿಸ್ಬೇಕು? ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ತಾವು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾಗಿ ಸದೃಢರಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನಾತ್ಮಕ ಚೌಕಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ನಾವು ರೂಪಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಆಗ ನೀವು ಯಾರನ್ನ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಮದ್ವೆ ಆಗ್ತೀರಾ, ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಧೈರ್ಯ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾಗಿ ಸದೃಢರಾಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಗುರಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಆ ಗುರಿ ಮುಟ್ಟ ನಿಟ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಹೆಣ್ಮಗಳು ಹೋದಾಗ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಆಕೆಯ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಳು ಫೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಹಕ್ಕನ್ನು ಅವಳು ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಈ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಹೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that was a nice, strong message from your point of view. And I think we've taken quite a bit of learnings from there. Let me now turn to Mrs. Isha Pant. Thank you, ma'am, for joining as well. You've been a great champion on women's cause, I know. And from the citizens' point of view, when they see the police force, they see a dual role. One of prevention as far as possible, and the other is once it happens, what kind of due process and speedy justice that is served to women when it comes to safety issues. So my first question to you is, what are the challenges that the police force face in the city of Bangalore on this front?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to our two MLAs present in today's program. MLA Mr. Arvind. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. And a very hearty good morning to Chairperson of Karnataka State Commission for Women, Mrs. Pramila Naidu, and Political Shakti and Citizens for Bengaluru NGO Coordinator, Ms. Tara Krishnaswamy, all the members of B.SAFE. Firstly, let me congratulate you for conducting this program today, because it is very, very important to make public places safe for women. And that is what your program today will be doing for at least for one constituency. And then I'm aware that you will be later taking it forward to other constituencies as well. So congratulations for taking up this very, very important job. So as your question is quite pertinent, and see, police for us, we face a lot of challenges like any city I would face. So right now, if we see, Bangalore is a city which has people from not just throughout the country, but from various different parts of the world as well. So we are a global city in many ways. So for us, it is very important to understand that we have a very, very diverse population. And the diverse population also comes with varied understanding of freedom, liberty, and such concepts, and also women empowerment. So in a situation like this, we need to make our people understand who all come with their own perspective of right and wrong, so-called right and wrong. And then make them understand that they need to work not from their own perspectives of what is right and wrong, but what is legally right and wrong. I hope I am making myself clear, because any situation that arises, especially when it comes to women coming out and occupying public spaces, there's also a lot of judgment that comes with it. So in that situation, we need to understand that the judgment comes not only from the public, but it also comes from our own people, because as I said, they are a member of the same society. They are a product of the same society. So a lot of undoing of the existing stereotypes is very, very important for us. So this is what we are trying to do, and making our own people understand that they need to not work from their own perspectives, but as I said, from the legal perspective. And these sometimes there are situations where a lot of subjectivity gets involved. So in that situation, it is important for us to not. Yeah, hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I think that is one of the challenges that we face in terms of our own people, and making them work from a more objective standpoint. And the other issues are all the same, which any city would face, like, when a city gets bigger, the anonymity of people, or the anonymity of the criminals or mischief mongers also increases. Like in a smaller places, they will be less anonymous. In a bigger place, they will be more anonymous. So that anonymity is one thing that we have to deal with. And that is the reason why, as Ms. Tara Krishnaswamy said, that we need to have eyes in the city. And we are using a lot of technology for that. We have a lot of CCTV cameras. Also, under the Nirbhaya Fund, Bangalore City Police would now be installing more than 7,500 cameras throughout the city. That will help us monitor the situation in the city better. Also, we are starting with something called as safety islands. So safety islands are those vulnerable places which our people will identify, and those places will have panic buttons if women face any kind of threat, and they press those panic buttons. Our Hoysalas, our emergency response systems will be able to respond. So there are a lot of things that we are trying to ensure to make the city safe, and it is always work in progress. It's very important for us to have citizens' participation, and that is the reason why we are also starting a campaign called active bystanders, where people become important stakeholders, because we are being a part of the city, being a resident of the city, we are all very important stakeholders, but sometimes we tend to forget that, and we tend to become passive bystanders. So in order to inculcate this sense of responsibility in the citizens, we are also starting these things. So as I said, there are a lot of things that need to be done, and what you have done today is a welcome step.
Thank you. I think you listed out so many confidence building measures, and I'm really grateful for that, and we look forward to working with the police force. And I think one of the biggest ambitions for a lot of citizens, or expectations, I would say, is to see a lot more women come into the police force. I don't know what's stopping more women to join as and when your vacancies arise. And I hope we can start with Bengaluru and Mrs. Pant. So with that, I'm going to keep the panel discussion brief, and I want to sincerely thank each of our panel members, very revered, highly regarded.
Yeah, I have one comment to make, may I?
Sure.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to add to what Ms. Isha Pant said, DCP. Thank you for the comments. I would add that, eyes on the street, I had mentioned that, it's a confidence builder for women to know that we are surrounded by a lot of people, and therefore crime is less likely to happen. But study after study has indicated, and even if we take a poll in Bangalore, and that is why I gave the example of Jayanagar 4th Block versus EPIP. EPIP, those fancy companies, they all have CCTV cameras everywhere, but it doesn't make us feel safe. This is not to say that CCTV cameras aren't important. They definitely, from a crime, solving crime perspective, it helps. But there is no substitute to getting people on the street and actually making sure that, you have mixed use neighborhoods where, the little corner store and the street vendor who sells pani puri, that is much more confidence building for us to walk through the street, because we see there are humans on the street. There are a lot of people standing and, buying things or eating something. Therefore, the chances that there is a molestation that is going to happen is far lower. Whereas in a street that is empty and filled with CCTV cameras, unfortunately, they don't infuse the same kind of confidence. So I would humbly submit that mixed use neighborhoods are extremely important, and getting more women on the street, street when these kind of informal things, actually, women themselves constitute a huge informal economy. So getting women on streets and promoting informal economy actually go hand in hand, and promoting public transport, because women are also on average, they earn less income. So we tend to walk more, take more public transport. So I think these three things are inextricably they're linked. And it's very important to make sure that we emphasize these three.
Yeah, Tara, I absolutely agree with the point you made. And in fact, as part of our data, field analysis, this is going to throw up, streets in each ward, which looks very comfortable, or to Isha's point of, which are, what those islands, as she called them. So absolutely, I think we know what we need to get done. And we really sincerely thank the panel once again. It was a brief discussion. I'm sure there'll be a lot more points at a later date. But for now, with the launch in mind, thank you all. And I will hand it over to Siri to speak on the Mahadevpura launch. Over to you, Siri.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, panel members. Even though the panel discussion was very brief, but it was definitely very informative. Okay. We have MLA Arvind Limbavali, MLA Mahadevpura. So please give your support message, and then we can launch the program in your constituency. Over to you, sir.
B.SAFE ಸೇಫ್ಟಿಯ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿರುವಂಥ B.SAFEನ ರೇವತಿ ಅಶೋಕ್ ಅವರೇ, ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಈ ಸಹಭಾಗಿತ್ವಕ್ಕೆ ಭಾಗಿಯಾಗಿರುವಂಥ CGI CSR ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಆದಂಥ ಜಾರ್ಜ್ ಅವರೇ, ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ಈ ಪ್ಯಾನೆಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಆಯೋಗದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂಥ ಪ್ರಮೀಳಾ ನಾಯ್ಡು ಅವರೇ, ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ನ DCP ಆದಂಥ ಇಶಾ ಪಂತ್ ಅವರೇ, ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ತಾರಾ ಕೃಷ್ಣಮೂರ್ತಿ ಅವರೇ, ಹಾಗೂ ನನ್ನೊಂದಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ನನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮೀಯರಾದಂಥ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರಾದಂಥ ಶಾಸಕರಾದಂಥ ರಿಜ್ವಾನ್ ಹರ್ಷದ್ ಅವರೇ, ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. I really thank B.SAFE. They have selected our constituency as a pilot project, my constituency and also Shivajinagar constituency. The theme of this project is very wide: safety and empowerment. The 50% of the population of the country are women. Maybe some 0.5% or 1% are lesser than the men. Empowerment is a regular program by the society and governments And more news will be for the safety of the woman. Just now, Tara was mentioning about the EPIP area. So, if you put a CCTV cameras, it will be one of the remedies for that. And I can say, if you go to the history of our nation, we used to respect women very well. We say woman as a Ma Shakti, Ma Durga. This was the words used earlier. Awareness and the rules should go together now. Because we are not discussing the issues of the households here. Most of the harassments are reported, or most of the harassments are not reported from the inside houses. How will treat my wife? How will treat my girl children in the home? It's also a discussion issue. The incidents took place outside the house. That will be making a big issues in the country as well as in the world. So that's why I told we need to bring the awareness among the society. If society goes wrong, no rules will be applicable. That is very important. Of course, we need to bring such nuisance fellows, nuisance makers through some act and rules. I think India has got powerful weapons to control those nuisance makers. Isha Pant has mentioned for them as a mischief makers. You are all aware that the incident took place in Delhi, and for that the family and friends fought for that about more than 10 years. So on that, her name, the scheme came now. Isha Pant has mentioned about that, I think, Nirbhaya Yojana, where Bengaluru is also getting more than 7,000 plus CCTV cameras. So, as you are selecting the volunteers, I am glad that you have mentioned the works of the volunteers. So they have to report, they have to bring the awareness in the society. If anything such incidents happens, they have to report and bring the awareness and go to the concerned officers, register a complaint and insist for the action. This is about the safety. We need to discuss these things in coming days with the local examples. I am not saying the Madhavpura constituency is fully safe. So you have selected Madhavpura. Definitely myself and my office bearers, my officers will definitely cooperate for this issue, and wherever the incidents will happen, the volunteers can bring to the kind notice of B.SAFE as well as to me and my office. Will definitely insist for the action through the officers. And also, you are aware that Karnataka has implemented the reservation for the women. If you go for Gram Panchayat to corporation, the reservation is there. On this occasion, definitely I belongs to the ruling party at state and center. My friend Rizwan will agree for this or not, I don't know. So we'll definitely insist for the reservation at a center also, where the representation from the woman side will be more in Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. This issue is pending. So empowerment, as Tara was mentioning about, I just heard about the bus examples he quoted. So in such way that we need to discuss all the areas. Now the awareness is started about the handicapped people. In most of the temples where I visited, I think in masjid also, in churches also, there are ramps now. After all the insisting so much from the state and central government, the small things are implemented. For the woman, we need to discuss about all such things. By phase wise, we need to bring those things in the society, as well as we need to insist to the government to empower the woman. I was surprised and happy when I heard the news that first woman pilot was selected for the military last year, I think. So a lot of reformations are needed in coming days. Definitely myself and Rizwan will work together and we will exchange our views because you selected both of us for the pilot project for this safety and empowerment project. So I really thank B.SAFE. I saw the barricades all over the city for the safe. They think of safety of the city. So if you go anywhere in Bangalore, police barricades will be named as a B.SAFE. Like that, this project should be brought to all the constituencies in coming days, and definitely I'll cooperate and I'll extend my all support for this program in my constituency, and I am confident that Rizwan is also very dynamic MLA. He will also implement in his constituency, and I need your support in coming days. And with our experience, definitely I wish it should be extended all the 28 constituencies of Bangalore and as well as Karnataka. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the message, sir. That was really supportive. Now we have a short launch video.
Which video?
Now we have Rizwan Arshad, Honorable MLA of Shivaji Nagar constituency. So please give your message. Over to you, sir.
Namaskara, Revati Ashok Gore, CGI na George Ravre, Pramila Naidu Ravre, Isha Pant Ravre, Tara Krishnamurti Ravre, ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಮಾತನಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹಿರಿಯರಾದಂಥ ಶಾಸಕರು ಮಾಜಿ ಸಚಿವರಾದಂಥ ಅರವಿಂದ್ ಲಿಂಬಾವಳಿರವರೇ. So dear friends, it is always a pleasure to work with B.SAFE on various citizen engagement programs we have done earlier. And I've been working very closely with the B.SAFE team at the grassroots level. I've been seeing their commitment and determination to change things in the society. So I'm very happy that this B.SAFE constituency project is being rolled out in the constituency which I represent, Shivaji Nagar, and also Mahadevpura. I think on behalf of myself and Mr. Arvind Limbavali, I thank the BTAC for choosing our constituencies. And I get to understand that it is a detailed program involving gap analysis of the infra from women's safety point of view and extensive community engagement to ensure safety and empowerment of women. This is what I got to understand from this B.SAFE program. And I think this is a very, very important program because as a society, we need to be sensitive enough to understand the needs and the space to grow, which we as a community together are women, which are part of this society, 50% stakeholders in this society, and we have to think whether we have been fair enough with them or not, whether we have given a level playing field to our women all these years, because I feel this is a patriarchal society. We have subjugated our women, we have kept them away from the mainstream, and it has been a deliberate attempt. Now I think it's the time that women are coming out with their true capabilities, taking the mainstream, leading us as a society and including the men. And it is the time that we as a society, we come together, create an environment which is equal for men and women. And this B.SAFE program is a step towards that, I'm sure. And there is every bit of cooperation from our side, because personally also, I believe that unless the women are empowered, a full and holistic society cannot be constructed. So this is 21st century, and if you see around the world, women are leading in every sphere, every sector, and I'm very sure that this program which we have launched in our constituencies, we will surely ensure that there is all the cooperation, all the support from our people, from the cadre who are attached to us, from the organizations which are attached to us, and to make this program a very successful program. Because I have seen certain, statistics, because we have a lot of policies to support women from the national level, state level, panchayat level. But when it comes to implementation, we have a half-hearted implementation. That is what I get to know. That is where we need to make people sensitized enough to implement these policies. Because Mr. Arvind Limbavali was rightly pointing out few things, that the safety of women starts from the houses within, in their own houses, because the maximum crime against the women is perpetrated by their own family members. So we need to, unless we as a community come together and create a safe environment, we won't be able to give justice. We won't be able to treat our women as the equal partners in the society. It's not a charity that we should treat them as such, because they are the partners in the society. It is their legitimate right, which all these years have been, in a way, snatched from them. So there are a lot of statistics which suggest that these kind of programs are very important, because India ranks 18th among the highest maternal mortality rates in the world, with 540 deaths of every 1 lakh births, and only 48% adult Indian women are literate. Unless we provide literacy, unless the women are literate, they won't get the power to assert their rights. literacy is very important. And among rural women, 36% have experienced physical violence in their adult lives. 36% of our rural women experience physical violence. What kind of society we are in if 36% of our women are exposed to physical violence? 66% of women who have experienced physical violence in their lifetimes are divorced, widows, or deserted, because we leave them halfway. We leave them on the roads. There is no support system in this society. There is no support system from the government. So we are a heartless society, to say, to be very open, if I have to say that. This has to change. Unless we change these things, we won't be able to support our women in the grassroots. And particularly the lower caste, the so-called, which is being used, these things, and tribal women are among those who experience the highest levels of physical violence. So it is time to reach out to these women, to empower them. And this is the major segment of women which needs empowerment. And 85% of women reporting violence claim that their current husbands were the perpetrators. So as Mr. Limbavali said, it starts from the house, within our house. So what I want to suggest here is there is a lot of work which needs to be done. And it is not the government's responsibility alone. It is, as a society, we all need to get together. And it is not only necessary that women speak out for the justice for women. It is also equal responsibility of men to speak for the justice of our women. That is what I believe in. And that is what, as a society, we need to do. Because all these years of patriarchal system, we have denied our women the right to dignity and equal rights, equal opportunities. So unless we change our system, the way we think, the way we act, the way we live, no amount of efforts will lead us to that level until our intentions are very clear. Our intentions of creating a level playing field, because now odds are against the women. The challenges are against the women. They need to, come out with a lot of efforts comparing with men to reach where they have. And you have called inspiring women here. They have been talking, they have been executing, they have been doing a lot of work. Isha Pant is there. I've shared 1 or 2 programs with her, and a lot of young girls see a great hope in her. They get inspired in her, So I think it's not that the girls should get inspired through her, unless the boys see her and then get inspired. This is the society we need to create in coming days. And I assure you that our cooperation will be there, our support will be there. And I hope and I really wish that Shivajinagar constituency should become the most safest, because safety for women is not something which we are doing out of sympathy. It is their fundamental right. We need to create that safe environment, not only for our women, men, everyone in the society. So this is a wonderful program. Thanks for choosing Shivajinagar constituency. Let us sit together, enroll it properly, and create a big network of people around who would work alongside women to create a safe environment, progressive environment, environment where women can breathe free, assert their rights, assert their presence in the society. So that is what we are looking forward. Thank you, B.SAFE. Always with you people for anything good you all decide to do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the message and thank you for the support. Now we'll have a short video launch for Shivajinagar constituency.
Thank you.
Now I call upon Ms. Revati Ashok, Managing Trustee and CEO of B.SAFE, to give an inspiring message and an exciting message to all the B.SAFE ambassadors who are waiting to work ahead for the program.
Thank you, Siri. And I really want to thank Honorable MLA Arvind Limbaji and Honorable MLA Rizwan Arshadji for both participating wholeheartedly. And both of you have made extremely powerful statements. There is a reason why we chose these two constituencies. We have already been working on several issues relating to safety and various other issues in the respective constituencies. We thought we should deepen this engagement and really take a holistic view of safety in these two areas. And we are really happy that we have received such good cooperation and support and enthusiasm from both of you. With this, I think we can really make this program a big success. We have been working on this for several months now. I really want to thank CGI, our partners, for having made this possible and supporting us right through, and their commitment to safety of women and empowerment of women. As Arvind Limbaji had said, that safety of women it is not just that people are outside and not safe. Most of the crimes, the national crime record shows that 32,000 rape cases were there, and 94% of the cases were from people who are known to them, were within the house quite often. And so we know what is going on. So this is not just about infrastructure. Infrastructure is a very important piece of all of this, but it's also to drive change in society. And one thing I'm happy about is that if you look at the NCRB crime records, the rate of rape in Karnataka, fortunately, is lower than most other states. It's at 1.6%. We must strive to make it really next to zero. That should be our goal. No tolerance and next to zero. We have about 505 cases of rapes per year, per lakh people, 1.6%. Rajasthan is the highest at 16%. We need not rest. We can feel happy that it is not as bad as some of those other states, but I don't think we should rest. Not a single woman should be molested in any way. So that should be our goal. How do we do this? This is not just, as we know, a lot of things happen at home. So it's transformation of society as a whole. And therefore, this program that we have is a powerful program which has been very carefully designed with a lot of inputs from several experts, gender experts, legal experts, and various other people to ensure that we provide a holistic perspective. Our B.CLIP program that we started 7 years ago has been a very, very big success. And there are several people, our B.CLIP leaders, who are holding various party positions across party lines. We want to create B.SAFE ambassadors as something very, very similar to our very successful B.CLIP program, that when you look at citizen volunteers for safety, people start thinking about our B.SAFE ambassadors. And that is the dream which we had for several years. And ever since Nirbhaya happened, this has been our dream. And I really want, I have no words of, I cannot thank CGI enough for having made this possible. And now with all of this, we have a very comprehensive program. Our dear B.SAFE ambassadors, it's been a tough journey for you for even getting selected, because this selection process has been a tough process. you've had to go through several rounds of interviews, statements of purpose, etc. We want to ensure that the people, the time that we are spending in training all of you, it is well worth it so that you are continuously engaged. Our program doesn't stop at training these people. Our program begins when we start, when we finish this training. The continuous engagement trying to make our constituency safe using these 2 pilot constituencies where we will map out all the infrastructure and public spaces. Then we also train the people on paralegal issues so that people, when they have, companies have committees where they go into issues when there is a case of molestation or any kind of harassment. But citizens at large in the unorganized sector or general citizens don't have a place to go because our local complaints committees are dysfunctional. There are no, the local complaint committees don't even function properly. And therefore, to empower all these women to know what their rights are, how they can, these ambassadors will become the first port of call when something happens so that they have somebody to speak to. They can help them escalate and navigate the system and go to various places so that they can take support and feel that there is somebody to help them. And this, it is with this purpose that we have launched this. We are hoping that we get at least 50 ambassadors by the time we finish this program in 2 constituencies. Hope maybe we will get more, but this is a start. And we have seen that our B.CLIP program has grown from strength to strength over the last 7 years. I have no doubt that this program also will gain in popularity as women start to assert themselves and bring out larger issues, not just about infrastructure, but larger societal issues, as has been brought by Arvind Limbavali, as well as by Mr. Rizwan Arshad repeatedly, to say that these issues have to be addressed right at the home and within society. So that has been our real goal. One of the other important points that Arvindji brought up, Sri Arvindji brought up, was the fact that women are not participating enough in politics. We have done a study on women in politics, fairly detailed. We know that Karnataka has made very big strides when it comes to the governance at the 3rd tier, where 50% of women are in positions of power at the corporator level. But when we, and at the panchayat level, but when we go to the MLA level, or when we go to the parliament, we find that the participation level is so low. So, and we have had a bill for reservation hanging for the last 20 years, and government after government has made that as an election promise, and it has not happened. We continue to fight for it.
Which is already passed in Rajya Sabha.
Yeah, but then it passed in Rajya Sabha, and then it has
to be.
Yes, but it is not getting brought up. That's the tragedy. It's been hanging fire for so long. So I hope at some point in the very, very near future, we do have more women participating in politics, because we cannot, Karnataka is sending 3% totally, and of women into politics. Whenever those 3% women have been there, they have really shown the light, and we have seen all of them, and several of them have been in our programs earlier. So we really hope that women participate in a larger way in politics, both at the MLA level and the MP level. We also must issue a women's report card where we show in all facets of society, whether it is legal system, justice, legislative, executive, police, we have more participation of women, and these statistics should be put out. For example, when we see that the CSR committee, when government announced that 2% should be set aside for CSR, and they didn't make it, they made it voluntary, but they said you have to put out your statistics to show how much you are spending. The moment you did that, and the government started questioning if your numbers were below that, we found that a huge amount of money came into CSR. Similarly, if we are able to ensure that at every level, we ask people to put out statistics as to how many women are there participating in whichever activity, that will bring a consciousness as to what is the state of women. Are they participating, or the 50% of society is deciding for the other 50% what they should get and what they should not get? They should get equal voices. So with that, I think we have terrific panel members as well. Tara made some great points. Isha Pant made great points. We are very encouraged that the Nirbhaya funds will be utilized for putting 7,000 cameras. This has been a constant demand of B.PAC over the last 7 years, ever since Nirbhaya incident happened. So I'm really glad that once you continue to fight on certain things, that really over time, this becomes, the change in narrative seems to take that much longer. I hope that change in narrative now will accelerate so that we don't have to wait for 7 years for these things to happen. But we are very glad that that is nevertheless happening. That may not be the only solution. That's why we have programs such as ours, where we will create a larger discussion and narrative around women's issues and safety, and more men involved. And we are so happy to see both Mr. Rizwan Arshad and Mr. Arvind Limbavali here, because fully supporting. And with Mr. Limbavali, we are working on safety of, he reached out to our office to say, we are having cycle lanes across Outer Ring Road, but how can we make it safer for women and children and many other people? And I'm really glad that he reached out, and we are doing a study on that, and we are giving them the results of what else would be required apart from creating infrastructure. What are the other considerations we need? These are the kinds of things we need to do. With Mr. Rizwan Arshad, we are working very deeply along with Mount Carmel College, with a lot of students on various issues in Shivaji Nagar. So we hope that there will be many more women who will participate in many of these issues. And it's not only about safety. As women start mainstreaming themselves in several issues concerning the city, I think the city will respond back, and the city will make it safer. And with that, I want to thank all the panel members, the chairman of the Women's Commission, Ms. Pramila Naidu, for also gracing the occasion. And it has not been easy to do this remote, but I'm glad that we have been able to pull this off. And now we have to really go on the ground. Our audits are more or less complete. Our programs will now, our audit framework is complete, program will start, and our B.SAFE ambassadors will do a lot of the work. And we will take the feedback to both Mr. Rizwan Arshad and to Mr. Arvind Limbavali, so that you can push the system to provide better infrastructure, and also the softer issues of making sure that functional LCCs are there, local complaints committees. And we are empowering these women to talk about some of these issues so people know their rights. So with that, I really want to thank you all. This is a very, very unique program. We are very, very proud of it. And I thank, this is a multi-stakeholder engagement program. And I want to thank Chitra and Siri and Sushma, who have put their heart and soul into this for last 9 months. And without that, today's launch would not have been possible. And thanks to Team Synergos and our communications team, Sachin, Amrit, all of you, for having made this thing possible on a remote basis. But we hope to see you all in person very soon. I hope that time will not be far away. Thank you very much, and let us all wish ourselves and the city all the very best.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the message. That was really inspiring. So we have come to the end of the day. I mean, end of the session. Thank you all so much for joining the virtual launch of B.SAFE Constituency. Special thanks to both the honorable MLAs, both Arvind Limbavali sir and Rizwan Harshad sir, who has joined us today. And a special thanks to Mr. George, President CGI. And thank you, panel members, for joining us. Thank you, ma'am. And I would also, just to bring to the notice, all the creators and illustrations were created by Sujit. A special thanks to Sujit as well to be part of it. Thank you all. Thank you so much for.
May I request everybody to just come on Zoom for a minute so that we can take a grid picture, so that we at least have a memory of this.
Sure. Who else is there?
Can everybody see? Can you all take a picture?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah.
One more
Yes.
moment. Nirbhay, yeah, who else? Have you got everyone?
Did we get everybody? We really want to ensure that everybody is there in the picture.
Yeah, we have Mr. Sudhir Subaraman. Welcome, and we'll see you earlier in the picture. Hi,
Yeah.
from CGI.
Do we have all the panel members?
Yes, we do have all the panel members, the two MLAs. CGI, Nirbhay, Surendran, would you like to come on?
Sorry, I don't have camera enabled.
Okay, no problem. So here we go. Cheers, folks, and thank you so much for all your support.
Thank you.
Somebody is taking the picture?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you all. We really look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Namaskara.